everyone, in this video I'm going to be doing a layout share with you. I've been asked in the past quite a few times now if I could do like a share of my scrapbook albums, do a flip through or something, and unfortunately I always have to say I can't, because once the layouts are put into an album, obviously they're in page protectors which are made of plastic and are shiny, and with camera lights and stuff all you would see is nothing but glare. However, it has been some time since I've put any layouts away, partially because the shelf where I keep my albums is like completely full, so I can't put any more layouts in the albums because there's no room. So I'm gonna have to move things around a bit to put the albums on a new shelf. So I thought before I do that and put these away, I would just flip through the lot of them. I'm not sure actually how many there are. Obviously at the moment they're piled in order of when they've been done, so I think this, you may have just seen this video a few days before this one is published, but what I'm going to do is turn it over so we'll go in sort of proper chronological order. So yeah, let's get going. I imagine there's going to be some here that I've completely forgotten about. So first one here, I made this, I'm going to say August last year. Obviously I date the photo, not the actual layout. Perhaps that's something I need to do in future, is put on the back or something the date of when I made it. That's a thing I should do. Anyway, this is with first edition Perfect Illusion Perfect Illusion paper pad, and as with this one and about 99% of these layouts, there is a process video for those. I won't link every single separate one, but I will link my scrapbook process playlist if you are interested, if you haven't seen any of these. Obviously you could just click on the playlist and scroll to find one if there's one particular one you want to see. Anyways, yeah, this is a picture of little baby me and my granddad when obviously I was about a week or 2 weeks old here, and I have this collection of photos with all the family members holding me, and it was my intention to scrap all of those photos, and I don't think I've done another one yet. So yes, this one is just called Hi Grandad. Next up, this one, I happen to know there isn't a process video for this one because I think I lost the footage, but I did share it on Instagram. This is with Dear Lizzie Stargazer, and is a picture of my two eldest sisters when they celebrated their 40th birthday. Well, it was at Rachel's party, but Reb was there and they're twins, so yes. Anyways, what I did with this one is I had seen in Poundland this frame that had a moon and stars done in this style, with like taking the brads or the little screws or something and just weaving the twine, or this is actually embroidery silk, around it to create that sort of effect. Didn't quite, I thought it wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be, basically. But yes, and I went around the edges with oxides and things and added some splatters, and there's journaling up the side here, which is quite hard to read actually, but if you squint your eyes you can see it. Oh, then we have this one, which I will admit is one of my favourite layouts I have ever done. Obviously it's a very mixed media heavy layout. This is with the Kaisercraft Hanami Garden collection, and I made these little scrolls just by rolling up paper and sort of framed it all around there. There's loads of art stones on here. There's embossing with like Chinese script and stuff. There's just loads of stuff going on. I will admit I was quite proud of this one. I do like it a lot. Then there is this one, which is called #LoveThis, which is a picture of me and my three sisters at that same party, actually, that other layout. And yes, this is a Dreamcatcher shaker layout made with Dovecraft Falkland collection. I think the cut file is a Paige Evans one. I'm not 100% on that, but I think it is. And yeah, obviously I just did a smaller piece and stitched around the edges and have the black and gold frame around it. All sorts of things going on there. That's how I like to do my layouts. Like, you initially look at the picture and then you might look at the secondary thing like the cut file, then find lots of little bits and pieces just around the edges and up there and things like that. I did like that one a lot. This one, I don't know what I called this one because there's various little titles on here. I think I went for Thankful for You, but this was with the Thompsons Craft Supply September kit, which was called Autumn Breeze. I believe this was my first layout with that kit, and again there's lots of stuff going on. I've got some stenciling with paint, flowers, splatters, drops, enamel. I think these are the Dovecraft ones rather than Nouveau drops here. I used some glitter glue to add little highlights and stuff like that, and as you can see it's a picture of my precious cat Conan. Then this one is with Dovecraft Make-A-Wish. Lots of stenciling going on. This is one of those ones where I had the idea sort of lying in bed and had to quickly jot down the idea so I wouldn't forget it. But I just took the paper pack, and I think it was an 8x8. If I had 6x6, I probably would have started with that, but just cut them down an inch at each time, and then as you see, sort of just stuck them on top of each other in this fashion where they just change a little angle at a time, and you've got this sort of swirly effect going on here. And then I've also got this little envelope which I sort of added glitter glue. The little envelope itself comes with the collection, and I've just got my little bit of journaling on that little card there, which I think is quite cute. And again, it's a picture of Conan. I think this is at my brother's birthday, not sure what year, and my sister got this snap of like one cake left on a little cake stand, and it looks like Conan's looking at it, so I called it For Me. Not that Conan would actually eat cake, he's not interested because he's a cat, but it looks like he is. Then another one with that Thompsons September kit, Autumn Breeze. This is one that's kind of about my university. This is a picture that I took way back when I was at university on the campus. University of Nottingham campus is the most beautiful in the country, and I will not hear argument against that because it is just beautiful. And in autumn in particular, it is just so stunning. But yes, you've got the apothecary, it's a word I struggle with, drawers, or like the old library card drawers as the background, which I think is another Craft paper. I think, I'm not 100% on that, but I think it is. And more stenciling with gold paint, more drops. These are probably the Nouveau Copper Penny drops, stenciling with gold glitter paste there. I like the effect of that on top of this little sort of coin envelope as well. So was just wondering if maybe that tag comes out, but it doesn't. I probably should remember that, but I don't. Then another one with Dovecraft Make-A-Wish. This is of my dad on his 70th birthday last year, opening his present that we all clubbed together to get for him. And yes, because I had the 8x8 paper pack with this collection, that's why you're only seeing white backgrounds with it, because obviously I couldn't do a 12x12 with just one of the papers because it didn't have that size. But I don't think it makes, you know, it didn't hold me back, let's say. I'm gonna use them in lots of different ways. You saw on that one before when I did the sort of rotating thing, and then here I've just got loads of little strips, and I put black ink around each strip so each sort of stands out in its own way. And again, more stenciling with gold glitter paste. I punched this on the We Are Memory Keepers mini alphabet punch board, and yeah, all sorts of things going on there. This one is with Paige Evans' Pink Paisley Turn the Page, one of my most favourite collections ever, and a picture of my mum next to this sign that says Crossroads, so I kind of wanted to go with that effect. So I did stenciling with this arrow stencil going up and down, and then just did this sort of cascade of flowers and butterflies, all that I'd fussy cut a long time ago. I had this big bag of all these fussy cut flowers and butterflies and stuff, so I used up a fair amount of them, though I still got many left. You've got the big giant tag behind. I put the snail on because it's just a little funny nod to the fact that my mum, who likes gardening, is like, when it comes to gardening season, is on this constant war against slugs and snails, and it gets actually quite funny because of her hatred for these creatures, so that's why I put that on there, just a little joke about that. But yes, and then again, I've added Nouveau drops. Has there been any layouts so far where I haven't added Nouveau drops? Let's have a look. Actually, looking through, there's actually maybe half without Nouveau drops so far. Right, what have we got next? We have, now we go to the Thompsons Halloween Kit, which is one that I part designed the kit, and it's very much my kind of Halloween spooky, sort of dark gothic kind of thing. I'm not into bright orange and purple kitschy Halloween. It just doesn't do it for me at all. I like, as I said, dark and spooky. So pictures of me with sort of skeleton-ish face paint on, and I called it Spooky Scary Skeletons after that awesome Halloween song. And we've got glitter paste stenciling with skulls. This beautiful glitter skull from the Scrap Lab, which was an exclusive for the kit, I think. And then beautiful florals, splatters, of course. And then, yeah, and I loved it. I didn't like the little Brad and stuff. Again, that is from the Scrap Lab. So yes, big fan of that one. And this I had done. These alphas were originally green, and I painted them because I wanted that font, but I didn't want them to be green, although I might have gone with. This one is a layout I told the story in the process video, but I have this song in my head, you know, the one from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and it's my favourite song from that film because it's easily the best song from that film. And as I said, I had it in my head. I thought that would make such a good title for a scrapbook layout. And I was like, it's a shame that I have never travelled in style in my life because I don't have any suitable pictures. And then I remembered that I did, because not last year, the year before, we went to the Isle of Wight for my uncle's birthday, and on the way back my brother-in-law treated us to sit in the signature lounge on the ferry, which was just basically free tea and coffee and in a quiet lounge and pastries and stuff, but it was very, very nice. So that's what I scrapbooked for that. This is a mix of Carpe Diem Posh, because Posh works, and then this, Cartabella Let's Cruise. I think this is what this is from. And actual enamel dots for once rather than Nouveau drops. I've got a little bit of journaling on this tag. It just pops back down there. Mix of alphas going on here. And what I liked about this that I cut from the Let's Cruise line is that it kind of looks like when you get the ferry from the Isle of Wight, or to or from the Isle of Wight, you can see a little bit of, say, you know, Southampton here, and then a little bit of the Isle of Wight here. That was kind of what I was going for there. Another one here with that Thompsons Halloween Kit, and this is based on, well, the photo is a picture of the bat, who is called Bartok, that hangs around in our garden, and you see him around, you know, summer time of year, flying around every night at dusk. And I could never get a picture of him because bats are quite speedy, but my sister managed to get one, and with the most amazing sky in the background, like it was genuinely that colour. It hasn't been photoshopped or anything or edited like that. I mean, she might have done some light editing, I don't know, but it was genuinely like that. So, but rather than calling it Bartok the Bat or something along those lines, I've called it Derry Will You Catch It to Catch the Bat, after the most hilarious Facebook video of all time. If you know what I'm talking about, then you know. If you don't know, then just go search for that video, because nothing makes me cry laugh like that video. But anyways, I've got bat stenciling up the sides here, some damask stenciling here with the embellishment mousse, this big ribbon across, and then all these little bats that I think I cut out of my silhouette, and some little bat sequins too, and then little hints of green in the enamel dots and sequins as well. And another with that Halloween kit. This layout took me forever because it is a shaker layout. So this spiderweb glitter cut file paper came in the kit, and what I did was back parts of it with acetate. So behind some areas, you can see it quite well there, are little shakers, and there's also little spiders in the shaker elements as well, and little bats and things like that. But it was, oh my goodness, such an effort to do. I wish I'd have just gone to the range and paid out for 12 by 12 acetate and just backed the whole thing, because that would have made my life so much easier. But you know, it's done now, it's done, and I do like it a lot. And like my first Halloween layout that was Spooky Scary Skeletons, this is my other favourite Halloween song of This Is Halloween from The Nightmare Before Christmas. You've got boys and girls of every age. Wouldn't you like to see something strange? Although I like the Marilyn Manson version better than the original film version. I realise that's partially blasphemy, but oh well. And I don't know what else to say about it. There is a spider hiding back there, and all sorts of little spiders and things, which is just kind of weird for me because I'm actually terrified of spiders, but I like them on paper, I suppose. Then I have this one made with the Vicky Boutin Field Notes collection. Quite a lot going on here. It's probably not one of my most favourite layouts, but it's fine. I chose this orange paper from the collection for my background, which is quite a different colour. For me, I don't generally lean towards the warmer colour palette. I backed it with this black though, because without the backing it looked just a little bit wrong. I did lots and lots of watercolour. These are the shimmery watercolours, the Kuretake Pearl colours, I think they're called. I didn't do packaging technique, I just sort of blobbed them and spritzed water and then let it do its own thing. Added little strips of ripped up washi here and there. Obviously got my photo there, and then one of a kind, because again, picture of my one-of-a-kind cat, and then various embellishments. These feathers are fussy cut. Little cluster down here, it says blessed are the curious, for they shall have adventures. I feel like that's an appropriate thing for a cat, so there's that one. And now we start to move into December, although I've just seen whoops, this little snowflake has fallen off. I will figure out maybe where that came from. But yes, this was the Thompsons Craft Supplies November Mixed Media Kit, and this paper, I've totally forgotten what brand it is. Totally forgotten, but it's just one of my favourite papers ever. I did buy another one from Louise, which I intended to use this year, or this past Christmas, but didn't, so I'll use it next Christmas. But yeah, this is a photo of a snowflake that I captured. It was quite early in the morning. I think I'm going to say about March last year, when it was super cold and it just started snowing, and I just caught this little snowflake landing on the table on some moss, and I've never managed to get a photo like it before or after, so I just had to scrapbook it. And there's glittery tulle behind the photo here, and I did embossing, both embossing and stenciling of snowflakes, and I've got all these little punched ones. I'm just going to try and stick that back on while I remember. And then other little elements from that are on here are from the Kaiser Craft, is it called Wonderland collection? I'm just going to stick that there, that'll be fine there. Yeah, I think it's the Wonderland collection, and also some little various other bits that were with the kit, like this tag and these flowers, which I added silver ink to. Then we have this one, which is made with first edition Forever Free, a picture of myself and my best friend Alice. And I've definitely said this in the past, but this paper pad just makes me think of Alice, just mostly because it's got a lot of bunnies in it and she is a bunny gal. So yes, the cut file is another Paige Evans cut file, and apart from the middle one, it's all raised up on foam, and obviously I've used different papers. I think I chose 2 per line of hearts, and then I backed the whole thing on another paper from Forever Free and just like really ripped up and pulled up those edges. We've got some packaging technique in the background, and then all these little florals and bunnies and stuff are fussy cut. And then I used, this is from like the Sentiments cut apart sheet from that paper pad, and just used You're the Best as my title. Then we have my only really Christmassy layout this year. I've got like 2 winter ones and maybe 1 Christmassy one. Whoopsie, maybe I'll do some later in the year. But yes, this is with, oh my goodness, I'm going to struggle to remember this. It's first edition Perfect Christmas? Question mark? I can't remember. Oh dear. I think that's what it is. Again, I've used a Paige cut file. Do I use any other cut files other than Paige Evans ones? I don't think so. I had a gilding flakes around the edge, which worked in some places and not so well in other places, but this, I think, was one of my first times ever using them, so it's, you know, it's bound to go a bit wrong. I think I took a gold ink pad to help cover up bits where I had truly messed up. But yes, these baubles, actually, I don't think those were a Paige cut file. I just had them in my silhouette library. I backed those with some gold foil card. Again, that's a Trimcraft thing, and then stitched this metallic embroidery thread to make the hangy bits for the baubles. Although this thread is just awful to stitch with. It really is. It is dreadful and it is not fun. But yes, I used Nouveau drops for all the little berries. That's the colour Autumn Red. It's just such a perfect colour. And then the Christmas is from a Simply Creative letter pack, and then I used the word cheer, which was from the crepe paper Christmas collection last year. Do not remember what. And the pictures are of my little brother Sam opening Christmas presents at a friend's house. Obviously not this past Christmas, the Christmas before, and just some fab photos of him there. Then I think this is my only other wintry layout. This is with first edition. Why can't I remember the names of the Christmas paper pads? Honestly, just poof, straight out of my head. Is that all that glistens? I think it is, but I could be wrong. But yes, again, I've used gilding flakes here, again, just right on the corners. And then I used a Paige Evans cut file, Cal Surprise, in the circle of snowflakes here. I did have to get creative on cutting them because I have a silhouette portrait rather than cameo, which only cuts to 8 inches wide. So sometimes when cut files are really designed for a cameo and they're a certain size, I just have to sort of cut them in half and then cut them half at a time and then sort of rejoin them up. So that's what I did with this. And then added loads of other kinds of snowflakes, little die cut ones, little wooden ones, but I kind of went a bit different and went for gold snowflakes rather than silver and blue, just to be a bit different. And look, a picture of Conan. There's a shock. Honestly, is it like every other layout he's in? Anyways, but it's just him sitting on a little snowy wall there. Then, big fan of this one. This was my first project with the Thompsons January kit, and this cut file from Pretty My Page came with the kit, and I made some elements of it into a shaker. I did some stenciling in the background with Nouveau Hybrid inks, and honestly, once I'd done the shaker and the stenciling, I didn't really need to do a whole lot else, so I just backed my photo, just added a couple of little bits and pieces, and that's it really. But I really genuinely love this layout so much. It's so bright and clean, and yeah, I was proud of this one. This one is from first edition Mariposa, and is a picture of me and my grandma, and she is a butterfly person. She loves butterflies. It's probably why I love them so much. But yeah, so it's very butterfly around here. But this paper from Mariposa, this sort of white one with the purpley, twiggy, branchy things, it's just so pretty, as is this green one as well. So I did all this ripping so I could incorporate more different kinds of papers onto it rather than just using different ones for backing the photo. A little bit of lace here and just clusters of fussy cut bits and pieces. These are things that have been stamped and then cut, like these flowers and leaves are from the V&A 2 collection, and these butterfly stamps are Dovecraft ones. And then I typed out these bits here, and then obviously mixed up the typed and printed words with the alpha thickers as well. And then, oh look, Nouveau drops. Then we have this one created with the V&A 2 collection from Dreamcatcher called Beautiful Memories. Picture of me at about 9 or 10 years old and my eldest sister. And I just, you know, I thought the colour of the photo actually went really well with the colour scheme of the V&A collection. And this is one that I just kind of had an idea in my head and didn't necessarily have an idea for the whole layout, just like a bit of it, which was to make a wreath with the floral washi little separate leaves and petals that come with the V&A collection rather. And yeah, that's pretty much what I did. I wrapped some thick twine around it to add that extra element. My phone just vibrated. I'm just going to make it shut up. Yes, where was I? Added some ribbons, some of those same flowers that have been stamped and coloured. These ones I stamped and then watercoloured before I cut them. And then what else have we got? Just various little phrases, which I think are from the Jen Hadfield sticker book. Lots of sequins. And then I just folded. Once I'd done it, it was like this. And I was like, ugh, something isn't quite right here. So I just did the old corner fold, shoved something behind it, and just added some pearls and some little phrases up there. And just sometimes the smallest little thing like that can make the difference to the whole layout. This one is with that January Thompson's Craft Supplies Mixed Media kit, and the paper, I think it was a Webster's Pages paper, maybe. This was one that very much didn't turn out like the idea I had in my head. I think I just did too much stenciling. I think that was the problem. I went way overboard with the stenciling, but you know what, it's fine. So I did this whole wrapping the twine around thing there to sort of ground the photo. I cut this from one of the sheets that was in the kit. I think most of this is actually from the kit. There's not much that isn't, apart from the glitter pasted from my stash and the Nouveau drops. I think that's pretty much it. And then whatever I went round the edges with. I don't remember what I used. Next up is this one made with Premium Marketing Flirty Fleur collection. This was very much a challenge to myself in using an enormous photo. As you may have noticed in all the previous layouts, I do like using small photos. It's just something I like to do, but I had this. My sister had gone through a load of photos, and where she had doubles of things, she gave them to me, and she gave me this enormous print, which is me and my cousin at that sister's wedding. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna scrapbook it. I'm gonna, yeah, challenge myself to scrapbook an enormous picture. And as it was in black and white, I thought the Flirty Fleur collection would go very nicely with that. So there's quite a lot going on here. There is some stenciling, there is some stamping. So the stenciling of the bricks, there's stamping of bricks. We've got strips of washi, a little bit of paint going on there, some little phrases, flowers, enamel dots, and then lots of white splatters. And I did do black splatters around the edge, but you can't see those as well, but the white splatters on the photo really stand out. Then I have this one, which was made with the Dovecraft Back to Basics Over the Rainbow collection. Again, photos of myself and my bestie when we were in a photo booth, which is why they all, you know, look like that. And we've got our Mario and Luigi hats on and our matching t-shirts and a shark because at the time Baby Shark was very big, so I thought it was hilarious to have a shark. There is a picture somewhere of us doing that for Baby Shark, but I don't know. I don't think I've scrapbooked that one yet. But anyways, quite a simple concept for this one. I just took loads of scraps that I had from this collection and took any square or square-ish dies that I had and just die cut many squares, as you can see, and then I just piled them up like this before adding a photo, each photo backed with some of the Dovecraft holographic card, which I love so much, and then just added buttons on top of those, and then some rainbow enamel drops, or the Pearl Effects, you know, the little Dovecraft 3D Pearl Effects ones there, and some of the black ones as well, and just finished off with Best Friends, I Love Us, and there we go. Next up is this one with the Simple Stories Bliss collection. This is just another one I just had in my head, felt the need to create with this collection. Again, with the gilding flakes, you can see me getting better with them as time goes on. Some stenciling in the background with embellishment mousse and this beautiful AB Studio stencil. Louise sent me that stencil as like a little design team perk, and it's one of my favourites. I love it so much. And then I've got some tulle behind the photo just to give it sort of that light, airy feel. I did the old washi tape and punch out some hearts there. If you saw the video, that's where I injured myself by trapping my skin in the punch. Oh, it hurt. It hurt so much. I'm still, the memory of the pain. Anyways, and that was just fussy cut with the collection that says enjoy the little things. Then we have my first layout with the Thompsons February Vintage Romance Kit. And being Vintage Romance, it was only appropriate to scrapbook a picture of Conan. I took this wood veneer piece as my main inspiration and went on top of this Prima paper. I can't think of the collection that this paper's from, but yes, it's got a little bit of foiling on it, though I think I have covered up most of the foiling. You can see a little bit of it up the top there. But yeah, this is another one that I sort of challenged myself because the colour palette is just not my usual thing. You know, reds and brassy and orangey tones is just not my usual jam. No, but I had a good time making it, and I've added my art stones and my florals, and there's lots and lots and lots of mixed media elements and things going on. But it's kind of fun to look at these ones because you're like, oh, I forgot I did that. Oh, I forgot I did that. So yeah. This next one, again, with that same Thompsons February kit. This one is called Family, and I don't know, I think I kind of almost managed to succeed in making them quite different. This one's very sort of, as I said, brassy tones and reds and things, and this one is a lot lighter and more of a vintage feel by adding the lace and the doilies and things. I mean, you've still got like the chipboard pieces, and I've used a lot of the same products and things, but yeah, I think I managed to create a different effect, and that's what I like to do with kits, is try and do as many different possible things that I can with them. I used, what's this called? It's the glass bead gel made by Winsor & Newton. I love the way it feels. I know that sounds awful and weird and creepy, but it really feels nice when it's dry, obviously. When it's wet, not so much. Then this one, made with first edition gardenia, is a picture of my mum. We were in the Yorkshire Dales many years ago, 7 years ago, if my maths is correct. And we were just driving around and I saw this sign, and I made her get out the car and stand next to the sign. So the sign saying crackpot was pointing to her, hence the title, my favourite crackpot. So yeah, I did paper weaving here. I just cut like 1-inch strips and weave them all together, and then made them different lengths and cut ribbon type ends into them, and lots and lots of fussy cut pieces on here as well. The little watering cans and butterflies and welly boots and things, and I've got doilies. And then a mix of actual pearls and then drops as well, pearl effects. Coming towards the end here, I think we've only got a couple left to go. This one is called Cherish, made with the Dovecraft Fairy Tales collection. We've got the little shaker fairy wands. They don't actually shake that well, but shh, it's a secret. I think I packed them a little too tightly, but it doesn't matter. Yes, I just cut the star shapes on my silhouette, just made them into shaker elements. Added the sticks, which are the Dovecraft craft sticks, and just painted them with some glittery paint. And once I'd done that, that was the majority of it done, really. This down here is a ribbon from that collection, flowers, pearls, stickers, bows, all those kind of things are all from the collection. And then I also added some stenciling with the stars and some splatters with Heidi Swap in, I think it was the salmon colour, but I could be wrong there. And then all these little bits and pieces are all Simply Creative gems. And then that's a Chamel title thicker, I think. And then obviously the little bits and pieces match that as well. It's from the same thicker pack. This one is with the Paige Evans Whimsical collection. This process video must be really, really recent. This was all about the cut file, really. The photo is of me at about 7-ish years old, getting one of those art sets for my birthday, which I just loved so much. So hence the title, Always Being Creative. Again, a Paige cut file. Took me a very, very long time to back that one, though. It was, I'd say, a labour of love, but towards the end of it I didn't love it a whole lot. But anyways, it's done now, and as you can see I went way crazy with Nouveau drops all over this one, but I think I said in the process video I just kind of wanted to add that more childlike splatters and colours and things like that, so that was what I was going for with that layout. Then this was my first project with the Thompsons March Dazzle in the Darkness kit. This is one that totally ended up completely different to what I planned. I wanted it slightly more vintage and it went kind of spacey. So I did change my photo halfway through just because I got too excited by my new Distress Oxide sprays. I should have just stuck to one colour, but then as I said I got too excited. I used the purple as well and it completely changed the whole layout. So that's why I changed my photo to this one. And yeah, I mean, because these ones are really recent videos, I don't know how much to say about them, really, without boring you too much. And then we have this one, where the video for this one would have come out very recently. It's again with the Thompsons March kit. And this is what I was saying about trying to make really different things with each kit. So this is using the exact same kit, some of the same mixed media elements, like the same products and things, floral, you know, as I keep saying, these are the same flowers, there's the same stamp featured on there, you know, it's the same kit but completely different layouts. So yes, I will say this is slightly more my thing, that sort of vintagey pretty floral vibe. I'm not saying I don't like the other one, but yes. And then we have in the centre of this flower possibly the biggest Nouveau drop I have ever created. It kind of made me laugh how enormous it was. I don't know why it makes me laugh so much, but yes, we've got gold splatters, stenciling, stamping, Distress Oxide, various different phrase stickers, a vintage book page, florals, just all of the things on there. There we go then, that was me flipping through 32 layouts. If you think about it, 32 since sort of mid-August, late August isn't probably that good when it comes to getting all your memory keeping done, but I'm more of the person who enjoys the process. I enjoy creating and making things pretty rather than documenting every single picture ever, but we all scrapbooking in different ways. Anyways, let me know if you enjoyed this, and maybe in the future I'll just, you know, carry on not putting things away for 6 months at a time, so I can do a layout share at the end of it before I actually, you know, get my stuff together to actually put them away in albums. Ugh, so much effort. And I hope it satisfied some of you that have asked for like layout shares and things and album flips in the past. So yes, I do have one more that is sitting on my shelf right now drying, but you will not have seen the process video by the time I have this video out, so I ain't gonna share it yet. Also, it's still drying. Okay then, so as usual, please leave me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Chat to me in the comments. If there's anything in particular you would like me to link, then please ask, because I don't know what I could possibly start thinking about linking with all of these different products and collections and everything like that. It would just not be possible to link all of the things. So do ask if there's anything where you don't want to know where it's from, or if there was something I mentioned or forgot to mention. For example, on this one I didn't say that these little wooden pieces are from Dovecraft Lost and Found, for example, so there may be some little bits and pieces like that. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions. And yeah, I'm actually going to go and get around to putting these away. Thank you as ever so much for watching. I'm going.